Hello, my name is Larry Flick, and I'll be your professor for Human Resource Management for the Fall 2017 semester. I wanted to introduce myself and give you a short preview of the course. The first thing for you to do is to get into our Blackboard class site at my.comnet.edu. You will need a UserID and password to do so. If you don't have one, contact our registrar's office at 860-215-9064. Here is a brief summary of our site. When you get into our Blackboard website, you will always come to the announcements page. I want you to read it and note that every Monday there will be a new announcement giving and laying out the week's assignments and so forth. So be sure to go in and read it at least every Monday and sometimes more. Now, at this point, let's go to the book options. Here are the book options, and here's the book that we're going to be using. It's the 11th edition of Human Resource Management by Lloyd Byers and Leslie Rue and Nabel Ibrahim. So in any case, in order to purchase the book, you can get it through the TRCC bookstore, and you'll see the prices here at the bottom of this link, or you could go to the student registration process. I'd click on this link right here and follow the instructions and buy the book through the publisher. The ISBN numbers are here at the top. You can buy the book with a loose leaf paper book, and here it's $189.49 from the publisher, a little more from the bookstore, or you can buy just Access to Connect, which at that would be $125. And that would be the cheapest I think you could get it at, but you wouldn't have a loose leaf book. Okay, let's now we can go back to announcements for a moment, and I want you to note that you can check on Getting Started here initially, or it'll always be in the menu here. So we've clicked on Getting Started, and I want you to read this through and particularly pay attention to effort and outcomes. You'll notice that I've divided them, the different assignments and activities, into required, recommended, or optional. And then there's expected outcomes that you would want to read here. You could get an A or a B if you do all of these things, and so forth. So this is kind of a good introduction. Okay, now let's go to the syllabus here in the menu. Now, this is a complete rundown of what you might expect for the class. It gives the grading summary, where 5 exams will be worth 60% of your grade. The Smart Book chapter quizzes, which we'll talk about in a minute, will be worth 10%, and the discussion board questions will be worth 30%. And then here's the grading scale and so forth. So that's a good idea to take a look at. Now, let's take a look at the class schedule. Okay, this is a rundown from week 1 all the way through week 16. We'll just take a look, chapter by chapter, week by week, of exactly what is expected of you. Now, it's linked extensively, so if you click on any one of these links, like the Smart Book quiz and the questions on the discussion board, here is a website. There will be questions on websites as well as videos in the discussion board, so you'll need to look at all of these. And it's a pretty good summary of what you can look forward to. Each week, of course, on the announcements page, we'll summarize the assignments and so forth. Okay, so at this point, let's go back and click on Connect Assignments here in the menu. Now, once you register, and that you'll be able to get instructions from in the book options link. But once you register, all you need to do then is, going forward, click on the chapter that you want to get to. So at this point, we're going to go into the Smart Book, and when you click on that chapter, here's where you'll end up. And what I want to do here is show you a few different things. Okay, you simply turn the pages by either clicking the right arrow or left arrow to go back, or you can click your keyboard right or left and so forth. It'll start off with objectives and a chapter outline, and then you'll note that as you go forward, there's areas that are highlighted in yellow, primarily in yellow. And we'll just take a look, go forward a few pages, and you'll see all these highlights. Well, if you want to turn off the highlight, there's a brush on the lower left-hand side. So here we turned them off, and we can again turn them off. And I guess they automatically turn off when you click that, and the line is not through it. And then when the line is through it, the highlighting is there. Okay. Now, the next thing, right next to that little brush that we're talking about, is an icon titled Practice. Okay. Now, let's go into the practice here. Okay, here's the formatting of the questions. On the very, very bottom, you'll see there's the number of questions and how far you've gone, sort of a progress report. And it's broken down into, you simply answer a question by clicking on it, and then you can say, I know it, I think so, unsure, or no idea. No idea or unsure, you might want to go back and read it. So that'll take you right back to the text, and more than likely the highlighted in the yellow area, and then you can go back to the exam and go forward. So if we want to go back and read, we can click the icon here, so it's either practice or read, and you'll note sometimes you'll go back and have this index on the left, and basically it's indexed by the subject matter given in the beginning, and you can get rid of that by clicking on the 4 squares here. You also should know that you can change the font size down here. Okay, so at this point, I hope that this little briefing on Connect will get you started in the right direction. Once you're into a chapter, I highly encourage you to play around and develop a more in-depth knowledge of how it works. Now, let's go back to the introduction. Beyond this summary, I want you to investigate everything on our Blackboard class site and register with Connect and purchase your book. Please remember that the most important thing for you to do is always feel free to contact me with any questions. Here's to a great semester and best of luck.